Honey, now, please get out of that boat. Oh, very well, be a hero. And when Mr. Boynton finds you hiding under that tarpaulin, I hope he hangs something besides a medal under your eye.
Miss Brooks will return in a moment.
You know, being a good driver is more than just turning on the ignition and stepping on the gas. You have to know where you're going, look where you're going, and getting there depends on the brakes. Have you checked your brakes lately?
Well, there was no doubt in Mr. Conklin's mind Mr. Boynton was going to end his romantic idyll with Miss Brooks by using her to fatten up the fishes. So, to prevent another American tragedy, when the two took his rowboat out on Crystal Lake, he hid himself under the tarpaulin.
Oh, gosh, isn't it nice and peaceful out here on the lake, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, it sure is, Miss Brooks. I wonder if you'd mind. That is, well, can I hold your hand?
I doubt it. We're about 8 feet apart.
You could sit closer. Why don't you sit on that tarpaulin?
Oh, no, thanks. I tried it before, and I felt like I was sitting on a mass of whale blubber. What was that?
Oh, probably the mating call of the speckled-throated bullfrog. Would you like me to tell you about the love life of the frog, Miss Brooks?
Right now, I'm trying to develop one of my own. I mean, some other time, Mr. Boynton.
Well, maybe I could move a little closer to you.
No, stay where you are. I'll come to you.
Very well. Only be careful. This boat's awfully shaky. Here, I'll hold the oar up high and give you...
Hold it, Boynton! There'll be no American tragedy in this boat.
Mr. Conklin, then it was you under the tarpaulin.
See? I told you it felt like a mass of whale blubber. Mr. Conklin, what are you doing in this boat?
What am I doing? Miss Brooks, wherever a human life is in peril, there you will find Osgood Conklin. Confess, Boynton, what are you doing out here on the lake with Miss Brooks and that oar?
We're rowing around studying the nocturnal habits of the speckled bullfrog.
Good boy. I knew if I put it to you that way, you'd confess. You were going to bash her head in, drown her, then swim to shore and plead that you're rowing around studying the habits of the speckled bullfrog.
Back under the tarpaulin again? Mr. Conklin, I know it's bad news for you, but let's face it. Mr. Boynton was not trying to drown me.
Not trying to drown you? But he can't do this to me. I mean, I worked so hard to be
Well, just to play it safe, Boynton, I'll take that oar. But, sir, this is preposterous.
Nothing will happen in this boat as long as Osgood Conklin is here.
That's just the trouble.
Boynton, hand me that oar.
Oh, but, sir...
Very well, if you won't give it to me, I'll have to wrest it from you. Release that oar, Boynton. Give it.
Oh, good gosh, there goes our only oar. Oh, we'll never find it in the dark.
Our only oar?
Yes, and heaven knows where we are on this lake. We've been drifting for an hour. We're probably miles from land by now. How are we going to get back without an oar?
Sir, frankly, I'm worried, too. There's no one else on this lake. Who knows how long we'll be out here?
And why are we all so nervous? True, this is a period of crisis, but luckily you have Osgood Conklin aboard. I shall be your captain.
We're dead. What Mr. Boynton said is right, sir. It might be days before we're rescued.
There's nothing to eat in the boat.
With a little ingenuity, Boynton, we'll find something to eat.
Don't look at me, sir. I'm indigestible.
But first, I'll run this ship the way it should be run. Mr. Boynton, you will sit fore and keep a sharp lookout for smoke on the horizon. Miss Brooks, you may sit aft and troll for small fish with a bobby pin tied on a shoelace. I shall sit here and steer the boat manually using that good old North Star as my guide.
But, sir, that's the moon you're pointing at.
And I thought it seemed a rather odd shape for a star. Let's try to get organized, shall we? Clear thinking is the ticket. Lacking an oar, we shall need to improvise a sail immediately. I'll need some large white garments. Miss Brooks?
You won't get a stitch from me.
Well, then, Boynton, I suggest we use your shirt as a sail.
Second the motion. And let's throw in his undershirt, too, sir. His shirt ought to do nicely.
Oh, sir, can't we wait until morning for all this?
You'll obey orders, Boynton, while I am captain of this ship.
Irons below, sir.
We can dispense with your levity, Miss Brooks. And now, before anything else, as a source of hope and inspiration, let us all bow our heads and prayerfully intone the first verse of my poem, Keep Your Head. By Osgood Cogswell.
Why not let me try to swim to shore for help, sir?
But, Miss Brooks, you can't swim.
Well, there's no time like the present to learn. Say, am I imagining things, or is this boat sinking?
Sinking? Holy cow, you're right. There's a leak.
A leak? Where? Good grief! Water's coming in. There is a leak. The boat's sinking. I can't swim.
I don't think this boat can last 5 minutes the way the water's coming in. Maybe much less.
Well, keep your head, Boynton. Don't get panicky. Boy. You'll need all your head. All of it, every ounce of it. Just hold me ashore.
Oh, you ashore? But what about me, sir? I can't swim either. And you know the tradition of the sea. The captain goes down with his ship.
Not in this ship. Grab my hair, Boynton. Don't just sit there. Keep a clear head, boy. Clear. Here, grab my arm. Which arm do you want? Take your choice. Oh, help me, Boynton. Help me.
Steady, sir. Let's not lose our heads.
Just think of your poem, sir. When others about you show panic and fear.
Oh, stop that idiotic balderdash! Now help me, Boynton. I have a wife and family. Miss Brooks has no wife. Nothing. Oh, leave me, Boynton. Who's that? Martha! Good heavens, I see the mother of my child! My life must be flashing before my eyes.
Osgood, what on earth are you babbling about?
Martha, is that really you? How did you get out here? Are you treading water?
What for? The lake is only 3 feet deep here. Shouting, so I put on your hip boots and waded out.
It's only 3 feet deep here.
Now will you let the women and children go first?
Mrs. Conklin, just where are we now?
Oh, the cabin is just around the bend, Mr. Boynton. Now, Osgood, will you kindly explain just why my big hero suddenly went to pieces?
Went to pieces? Why, Martha, what a fantastic idea. Oh, I will admit I was a little upset, but it was more for the safety of Mr. Boynton and Miss Brooks than myself. My first concern was for their safety. Isn't that so, Miss Brooks?
Well, what do you say, Miss Brooks?
The next time you run Mr. Conklin's bath, be sure you throw in a life preserver.
Honest Brooks, starring Lee Barton.
Larry Vernon, written by Arthur Oldsberg and Lou Derman with the music of Lud Gluskin. Mr. Conklin was played by Gail Gordon.